U.S. dollar, you'll get more travel bang for your buck. Right now is a smart time to make your reservations and call low-cost airlines. With one phone call, you can let us do all the work for free. We'll shop hundreds of airlines, hotels, resorts, and give you a way to save huge money on your vacation plans. And if you call right now, we'll give you a free hotel room with a qualified travel purchase. So call right now.
800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. That's 800-704-1662.
Listen, you can't handle the truth.
It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call now at 615-844-5600.
Oh, righty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
And a good Wednesday afternoon to you. And yes, it is time for the McFarland Show for the next 2 hours here on Nashville Sports Radio. Darren McFarland, Justin McFarland here with you. Hence why the show is called the McFarland Show.
Makes sense.
We had a really, really smart marketing team that got in a room and came out with the name of the show. So
yes,
we do appreciate their hard work 8 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been very satisfied with the name of the show.
It's worked out.
It really has.
Yeah. Worked
it's
out.
Catchy.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yes, and no fast food restaurants have come after us.
That is very true. All these things are true.
Yes.
Adam Johnson is alongside for the ride for the next 2 hours. You can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We look good.
There
and
we are.
I know I tell you this, but, we try to get a little spruced up every day for the show.
Yeah, we're here. We're ready.
I mean, no tie for TV, Justin.
Not today.
It's every once in a blue moon. Like, you know he's had a day with the morning gig when he comes in a tie. It's like, oh, it's been one of those days.
It's been a longer day.
You haven't had time to get the tie off.
No. It's been a busy one sometimes over there at the studios of WZTV. So today is not that day, though. We're okay today.
Yeah. We are going to have another great show for you coming up here very, very soon. We're going to talk to Steve Lehman, talk all things Titans. Also, going to ask him about something we brought up yesterday with Alex Storty. So we'll do all local. We'll Steve Lehman from News Channel 5. 3:15, we'll have our man Butch Spearden on before he heads out of town. And I don't know where he's going.
You never know.
I told you, Justin. I may try to probe and see if we can get some.
Anywhere.
Yeah, we can get some info. Maybe he's going to go strike a big deal. I don't know.
You never know.
You never know with Butch.
At all. And, Butch is always on a recruiting trip. Or
always.
He's, touring something to get an idea, spark inspiration. I mean, you never know with Butch.
Yeah, I doubt he's just going, to Aruba with the wife. Like, I just doubt it.
No.
Like, usually there's a reason behind it.
Yeah. There, he may be on his way to London.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
He may be.
For October 15th.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He could be on his way to London, for all we know.
Yeah, I woke up this morning after seeing the news that the Titans were going to be playing in London against the Ravens in Week 6 on October 15th.
Yep.
I then waited patiently by the computer and my phone to get a text or an email from the station saying, hey, we need to meet before the show so we can go over plans for mid-October. And
Did you get that?
I was waiting.
Did you get that text? Because I didn't. Waiting. I missed it. Okay.
And I was waiting, and I didn't get anything.
Yeah, okay.
So maybe today wasn't a good day for a meeting. Maybe tomorrow? Maybe Friday?
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Waiting for the prices to settle down.
Is that what it is?
It's a little expensive right now.
Oh, we're going to be day by day. We'll check the prices?
We checked this morning on the TV side for a round-trip ticket to leave on a Friday and come back on a Monday for that weekend. Direct flight nonstop now from Nashville to London is $910.
Okay.
That now, it can get cheaper than that if you're willing to make a few stops along the way. But if you want the direct flight.
How long is the flight?
From British, I didn't check. From British, but I can find out. From British Airways there, from Nashville to right there to Heathrow Airport there in London.
I'm just totally guessing. I'm going with what, maybe 5 hours?
I think it's a little bit more than that. I mean,
6 hours, maybe?
It may be.
I don't know.
Justin,
I'm guessing.
No, we'll find out.
I'm guessing.
I'm totally
guessing.
But, listen, it's sort of one of those destinations. You ever have a friend get to you for a destination wedding? One of those kind of deals. Nonstop is 8 hours and 5 minutes.
Really?
Really?
Is
yeah.
it that far?
8 hours and 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah. Well, you're leaving the country. The ocean's pretty
okay.
big.
Honestly,
coming back, right?
No, I'll tell you what I was thinking. I don't know why I had this in my head. So you can do direct from here?
Yeah.
I was thinking, because I know we've looked in the past, it was from New York. I think it's 4, but it's 2
from
hours.
Newark or somewhere like that.
Yes,
yeah,
from
then,
up there, I think it's
From
like
up there.
6 hours.
Yeah, you got to add the
in
couple
one
of hours.
way is like an hour less or 2 hours less because of the jet stream.
Coming back.
I don't know if it's going there or coming back. I don't know.
I don't know
Well,
either.
I've never traveled.
I don't know either.
Well,
overseas.
California, it's real. Like you go out west, you come back, you're gonna get a better time coming back with the jet stream.
Hmm.
Going out is always a lot longer.
Hmm.
Going into the wind.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
I don't know. On that trip, Adam, I don't know. You're right. It's probably
We could find out.
coming back,
It's not
but-
that. It's not that hard to
Okay.
figure it out here.
well. No, I've
um,
never been. I've never been to London.
I have
so-
not either. I've been to Germany, but I've never been to London. So, it's over there in that same neighborhood. Okay, so the return flight is 9 hours flat.
Okay, so it's going out.
So London to
Get a little
Nashville is
help.
9 hours flat.
Yeah.
So there you go. There
it's
you go.
worse
Adam.
coming back.
It's worse coming back,
Okay.
which makes sense. It's coming back west. So there you're going east. Now you're coming back west, I guess.
Can you guys sleep on a plane?
No,
I can't.
No,
I,
I
can't.
wish I
can't.
could.
I can't either.
If the flight's long enough, I can.
like I am so.
Because we're all big guys. It's hard
Yo,
for us to get
it's
comfortable.
hard.
tough. It's
hard,
tough.
man.
It's tough. Tough to get comfortable.
Although I am seeing these new airlines that have these incredible spaces now,
Mm-hmm.
where they do flights, international flights like that, where it's like basically it's like being on a train, right? Like you have your own little compartment.
Yeah. You have like
Oh.
a fold-out bed.
Now maybe with that,
Yeah.
I could do that, but I've never been in that situation.
I think it's Emirates.
Is that who it
It's
is?
one of the ones. That
Yeah,
have that,
I've been
yeah.
seeing it lately, so I was like, ooh, that looks very nice for a long flight. And I do wonder. I don't know. I'm the worst. I can't. Probably I'm not an easy flyer either, right? I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
really comfortable. It's a necessary evil for me. I don't enjoy long drives either, so I just would rather fly
Yeah.
and get there quicker, but I also am not a great flyer.
Well, it could be one of those situations like because I've known people who have to take a pill just to
yeah,
fly.
I don't do that.
So you have to knock yourself out essentially, just to be able to make it through the flight.
Yeah, I'm afraid I would be like in the movie.
In what
oh,
movie?
the,
I don't know anything about a movie.
Oh,
What happened? Did something happen in the movie?
oh, and
No.
She's on the plane. She takes the pill. No,
I don't. I've got nothing. I'm sorry.
I'm ready to party.
Nothing.
No,
Drawing a blank.
Bridesmaids. No,
Did
you see Bridesmaids?
I don't
really,
remember if I saw Bridesmaids.
really funny movie.
That's Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. right?
no.
That's
no,
not the movie?
No.
What is that movie?
Oh,
then?
that's Wedding Crashers.
Wedding
That's
Crashers.
Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, this is
okay.
Bridesmaids. It's
Same theme, just
It's
slightly
just females.
different.
All
yeah.
Okay.
This is all females.
Oh, okay, so it's just female. Oh,
Adam, you know the scene I'm talking
that's
about,
the
right?
Tiffany Haddish
I've seen
movie.
it, but I'm vaguely, yeah.
You don't remember she takes the pill, and then I think she doubles up, and then she's looped.
Is that the Tiffany Haddish movie? Is that
No.
That's something else.
No, something
Okay, never
else.
mind.
Yeah, you've done so well. This was like your first real stumble, like you fell down,
Crash
like
and
you face
burn.
planted. This is the first face plant movie
I confused
reference.
Wedding Crashers with Bridesmaids, and just totally went.
Yeah, but you've been so good at the movies.
I can fake it through quite
Yeah,
a bit, but
today was
no,
the big face
I
plant.
couldn't get it with this one. No, couldn't quite make it with this
So
one.
no, I don't have to do that.
Okay.
But I don't. Oh, Pete Weber is the one that is just. I'm just so jealous. The wheels go up, he's out. The wheels come down, he's up. That's how he does it. That's how he flies.
That's
I
nice.
don't know how he does it.
That's nice.
I'm so jealous. I cannot do that.
I've seen people like that. I can't do that either.
And he doesn't take anything to my knowledge. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But wheels come up, he is out. You look over at him, he's out.
How-
Wheels
how
come
many-
down.
How many plane rides has Pete had in his life? Think
literally,
about it.
Literally
thousands.
thousands. Literally thousands.
Thousands.
Yeah.
It's like us getting in a car,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
That's Pete flying.
So I
now
guess,
it's normally first class too, but
well, it's private, so it's nice.
So it's all- so
everything's the
it's
whole
all first
plane.
class.
Yeah, the whole plane is first class.
The whole plane is the Dreamliner there.
I know. I've been on it. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way to travel. Let me tell you.
If you're going to travel,
It is.
that's the way to do it.
Let's just say it doesn't suck.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
it's the best way to put it.
Life
it doesn't
aboard
suck.
Air Preds.
Now I will say this: it doesn't matter how you travel. Like going far distance, like it's still like you're gonna feel it no matter what.
Yeah,
right? It doesn't matter
yeah.
how nice you travel. You
There's
still
no-
have to travel.
There's no nice way to get to
Right,
Edmonton
right.
or Vancouver.
Like you're still gonna get jet lag, no matter what. Like,
It's out there.
like it's real. Like
Yeah.
that part is real. But it's just nicer to be a lot more comfortable. The food's better, and it's nice.
We started off talking about this because the Titans are opening up their international schedule in London. Taking
It's a
on the
one-off.
Ravens. Yeah,
It's a one-off.
I know. The one-off game there in London.
The
And-
Jags actually have an international.
Yes, they
schedule.
do. They've got 2 straight weeks. They're moving to
They're
London for 2
Wait,
weeks.
yeah, where they stay there for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're not coming back.
Even though they're playing in different stadiums, they're not coming back.
No, not coming back. Now, what's interesting, and the only thing I saw, and we'll get into this here in a few, but I saw some fans were upset that they were losing the Titans Ravens
good,
home game, an
a
actual
rivalry
good
game.
game. Because the last time they went over there it was the Chargers,
Yeah.
which not exactly a big national following here for the Chargers. Nothing against them. But, as the Chargers-Titans game at Nissan Stadium doesn't exactly have the same juice as Titans-Ravens do. So there's obviously a big history there. It's a bit of a heated rivalry there, and it's not going to be there. Instead, London's going to get that. So I saw some fans not happy about that.
Fair. I mean, I get it, but
Yeah, I mean, you can't do anything about it. You can't control it.
Right,
I'm just
it's-
saying that's the one thing that I've seen consistently. Some Titans fans not happy about that part of it.
honestly, if we could go, the opponents have been announced. The schedule has been. The opponents have been announced. That's going to happen tonight, right?
Yeah.
The schedule, or tomorrow night. Sorry, tomorrow.
Well, the
night.
schedule is going to be announced tomorrow. The opponents
Tomorrow.
have been known for
That's
several
what I'm
weeks.
saying. The
yeah.
opponents is out there.
Yeah, yeah.
But the schedule, the actual dates and times, all
Yeah,
that
that's
stuff will be
tomorrow
tomorrow
night.
night. But I mean, we can have this discussion on Friday's show.
Sure.
Look, you could find a reason to look at any of the opponents they're going to face and say, "Oh man, I would have loved to have seen that game." Here. You can. I'm just saying you can make that
Okay.
case.
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, what would
I
you
get it.
say
No,
is-
I get it. I
because
think
even if
about
you
it a little
go
bit.
the Texans, it's like
Yeah,
it's like,
CJ
well,
Stroud,
you'd like
yeah.
to see CJ Stroud, wouldn't
Yeah, you want to see that.
It's like,
yeah.
I don't want to see the Colts. Well, don't you want to see what Richardson looks like in person?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. If that's the player, sure.
right? I mean, you could think
Yeah.
of. I'm saying 2 lousy teams.
Yeah.
That will, by the way, happen to be in your division.
Yeah.
But what we suspect to be 2 lousy teams.
Yeah.
But they also drafted their franchise quarterbacks. Don't you
Well, also-
kind of want to see them?
Also thought the NFL promised not to move any division games over there.
Yeah.
You
Is
know,
that,
I thought
is that
the-
right? Let me look at it.
that's what I thought. I thought the division games were too important to
Yep,
move
you're
over
right.
there.
There's no division games. So
Yeah. I thought they kind of made that pledge a little while ago that they
Okay.
weren't going to be moving division games over there. So,
well, that did play out.
okay.
All right, let's come back with Steve Lehman from News Channel 5. We'll talk to him next here on the McFarland Show, Nashville Sports Radio.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Tennessee needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay and in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. That's 800-413-3953.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Here at Total Wine & More, you'll find what you love and love what you find. I like this flavored gin, but want something new? You'll love this one. Wow! Oh, you're good. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. Pickup and delivery available at TotalWine.com. Drink responsibly, B21.
Legacy Concrete is on the air saluting the brave men and women of our U.S. military. Their tireless efforts each and every day shall never go unnoticed. This message is brought to you by Legacy Concrete, covering up to a 50-mile radius of Middle Tennessee with quality service and pride. For residential or commercial concrete projects and foundation repair, call today and ask about their military and first responders discount. 615-661-8373. That's 615-661-8373. Legacy Concrete. They're professionals who care.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Jim Wyatt
Sing it, Barry. Sing
asked
it. Sing
for
it.
my input. Looks like we made it.
Justin.
Are you kidding me?
You did it, man.
Jim Wyatt, I've been asking Jim Wyatt questions for years. This is the first time that Jim Wyatt has ever asked me a question.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
Welcoming calls from all around Middle Tennessee. 615-844-5600. The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Or the world. You can call in from London. You really can. The number is 615-844-5600. We do not, exclude anyone outside of Middle Tennessee. You can call in from anywhere in the world.
No, we won't take the charges.
Correct. You cannot make a collect call.
No,
you
we won't
are
accept the charges.
behind bars and you're listening to the show, you'd like to comment, you'll have to text us.
Yeah. We used to have an 800 number for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And Bill really used it in the
Oh,
morning.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
Hey,
what is that?
Well, we do have a listener from Alaska from Bill in the morning
Wow, okay.
that listens to the station.
Well, we have Johnny
online.
from Vancouver.
Listen, we got a guy from Vancouver.
Yeah,
That's
man.
not all that impressive. I mean, that's nice, but we got Vancouver. We're international. Alaska's still the United States.
Man, you can't even say that with a straight face.
What happened? What? We're international around here.
Yeah.
I love Bill King.
All right, let's go to the phone line. Speaking of that, let's bring in Steve Lehman, News Channel 5. He's probably getting his London gear together, I think. I don't know. Maybe him and John Burton have to do a arm wrestling contest, rock, scissors, paper.
Somebody got to stay.
Yeah.
Both of y'all can't go.
Who's going, Steve?
Gosh, I just hope somebody's going at this point. We haven't exactly figured it out with the travel agent. But I'll tell you what, if we're resorting to some sort of competition, it's not going to be arm wrestling. Because I can tell you right now who's going to happen.
Yeah, not fair, is it? So, okay, we'll have to come up with maybe swimming. We've talked to you about the pool. Maybe a swimming contest, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know how John feels about the pool or any of that. So I don't know, but hopefully that's something we have to discuss now that the schedule is, well, not officially out, but the London date is officially out.
Yeah, we'll know more Thursday evening. But we were talking about this in the first segment. There has been chatter that people are upset that, oh, man, you're taking away a really, good game to put it over in London. How do you feel about the matchup against the Ravens being over there?
I'm a little surprised, honestly, that they would take a game that's kind of become a rivalry again, given the stakes of some of the meetings of the last couple of years, and a really marquee game on the Titans' home schedule to go over there. But, at some point you got to take a game. And they usually don't do divisional games over there, so that's going to take out the Jags, the Colts, and the Texans. So now you're down to 6 possible opponents that you'd have over there, and you got to pick one somewhere in there. And I think they also try and spread it out in terms of who's been there more recently and who's never been there and all that sort of stuff. So it kind of is what it is. But, yeah, I understand if you're a Titans fan or a season ticket holder and you are looking at the 9 possible games at home and thinking, ooh, I really like that Ravens game, that there's some disappointment to seeing that one being the one shipped across the pond.
Justin, I'll be totally honest. I'll never forget this.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, Steve is pretty, cool and collected, right? He's well thought out.
Oh, yeah.
I think honestly, the maddest I've ever heard him was after the London game, the Chargers game. Steve, is that not? I mean, you were pretty hot. I loved it, by the way. You were not mincing words after
You're talking
that
about the
trip.
call at the end of the game that Vrabel made?
Steve did not hold back. He was throwing fire daggers, man. I loved it.
So I am a Mike Vrabel fan as a head coach, and he has really grown on me. I don't think they get out prepared. I think he motivates guys well. I think he pushes the right buttons, and obviously he was NFL Coach of the Year a couple years ago. So I want to say that at the beginning here, that I think his resume speaks for himself. That said, I think there were some growing pains in that first year where he coached a little bit too much like he was still the rambunctious linebacker on the field. It would be like 4th and 5, which was essentially 4th in the game, and he'd just go for it because it was like that's what you would want to do when you're a player. And sometimes I think the job of the head coach is to not think like a player, because you want the players to just think like, oh, yeah, we can convert on 4th and 13. It's all good. Like, we'll do it. The percentage of that is low, though, and you need the coach to figure that in and take that into account with the actual decisions. And in that game, the way they had played in the second half, they had dominated the Chargers. They go down the field and score, and the extra point ties it and would send it to overtime. And I just thought, for all the world, the Titans are going to win this game in overtime. They have all the momentum. Their defense is locking them down, and they're running the ball at will at this point. They're going to win the game in overtime. And he lines up to go for 2. But not just that. They called a timeout, or they reviewed it, or I forget exactly what the circumstance was, but there ended up being like a 90-second delay before they actually got to run the play. So any spur of the moment catch the other team off guard or on the heels thing was gone. You score and say, we're going for 2, we're going to win. Maybe you do catch them off guard, and maybe that helps you. But when there's a delay, now they can pull everybody to the sideline and say, okay, they're going for 2, this is what we need to watch out for, and really think about it. And what ended up happening was just a disaster. And, oh, by the way, I think they had a false start, so then they even ran it twice after that. I mean, it was just a total meltdown in that situation. And they ended up not scoring. And, of course, the time's over then, and they lose a game where they were clearly the better team in the second half. And if you remember, that Titans team went 9-7, but did not get into the playoffs by losing the final game of the regular season. They win that game in October like they probably should have. It's a different story, and they're probably in the playoffs that year. And so that was a moment where I just think, truly, that loss was completely on Mike Vrabel in that decision. He has redeemed himself since, but at the time, I was absolutely fired up.
Yep. Good stuff. So how do you think they're going to handle the wide receiver position this season? I know it's the question that they probably are rolling their eyes at already, and it's only mid-May. But it's not going to go anywhere. I got news for them. It's not going anywhere. There's really no quick fix anywhere either. I don't see them magically bringing in some receiver that's going to have everybody giddy and just forgetting this conversation this offseason. So this is probably what they are. It doesn't mean that they can't add something. But unless Treylon Burks takes a gigantic step forward, how are they really going to get real production at that position this season?
Yeah, I don't know. Guys, are you aware, is Charles London like a master of the wing tee or anything like that? Is any of these assistants in that? Because I don't know.
I was just wondering if he had like a Harry Potter, wand or something. Like maybe he could magically create a wide receiver or magically create something that's going to make us forget about that position, but I don't see that happening.
I mean, it's going to have to be scheme, don't you think? Because they don't, and I asked Rand Carthon this last week. We sat him down for Sunday Sports Central, and I flat out said there's people who are going to criticize you for only taking one wide receiver, your biggest position of need in the draft, in the 7th round. And he was like, I understand the criticism. And I said, okay, so if you understand the criticism, but you're just going to try and pick the best value or best players you think you can get, I have to ask this question. Can you win in the National Football League with the current group of wide receivers that you have? And his answer was, yeah, we can, because they won last year here, and a lot of those guys are here. Now, I can parse that down and say, I don't know if 7 wins last year is the type of win that I was talking about in the question. And frankly, the leading wide receiver on the team last year was Robert Woods, who is no longer here. So it's not even the same group of guys that they won 7 games with last year. But further than that, I don't think anybody, you guys don't think so. I asked Jonathan Hutton the same question on Sunday night. John Burton and I don't think. I mean, no one else I know believes that they can win with this group of guys. And so if you're going to take him at his word on that, they must think Treylon Burks is poised to be a top 10 receiver in the NFL this season, which seems like a real stretch based off of what we saw last year. And they must think Chig Okonkwo is going to be an all-pro tight end this season, which also seems like a stretch based off of what we saw last year. And you got to hope that some of those other guys, Nick Westbrook-Akina, continues to be a better and better wide receiver. That Chris Moore, who had a career year last year in Houston, has another career year this year in Tennessee. And that whether it be Colton Dowell or Racey McMath or Kyle Phillips coming back, one of those guys has to emerge as a really good third receiver or whatever you want to put him into the fold. All of those things have to happen for this group to be any sort of a threat. Because, guys, I saw, I forget who did it this week, but there was a publication that ranked all 32 receiving corps. And the Titans were dead last.
I was going to say, they have to be dead last. Yeah.
They were dead last. The Falcons are 31. And, guys, frankly, when I look at the Falcons, it's not close. It's not like 31 and 31A. It is 31 and then way down there after that, 32.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at the Titans receiver room. And in a league where it's about the quarterbacks and the passing game, that's a really bad sign.
Yeah, there's no Kyle Pitts on this team.
No.
We had on Northwestern's offensive line coach, and we had on Kentucky's offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen. Now, obviously, they were glowing about each player. They were really good interviews, but look, Steve, you know that they've got to start making these high picks work. You can't keep missing every year and expect to somehow masquerade and get past it and still, be good. It's going to eventually bite you in the behind. So what do you really think is fair to think they're going to get out of Peter Skoronski? And what do you think Will Levis's role will be this upcoming season? Do you think he's going to be clipboard holder, or what do you think of those 2 picks going into this season?
It's a great question, Darren. I think Skoronski's really good. I think he's a good pick at 11. I have some confusion about how they plan to use him, at least immediately, because they spent starter money to bring in Andre Dillard in free agency, and they spent starter money to bring in Daniel Brunskill. So where do all these pieces go? Brunskill's more of an interior guy, so fine. He's going to play left guard or maybe right guard. It sounds like Aaron Brewer is going to move to center. I think we're assuming that Nicholas Petit-Frere is going to remain as the right tackle on this team, but that means you brought in a left tackle in free agency in Dillard, and you drafted a left tackle in the first round in Skoronski. So what gives there? Who is the left tackle, and where does the other guy play? My hunch is that Dillard is going to be the one starting at left tackle, and Skoronski is going to play inside, either on the left or the right, with Brunskill on the other side. that can be fine. That could be a much better offensive line than what we saw. But do you view the pick a little differently if you took the guy at 11 who's now going to be your right guard for the next couple of seasons as opposed to the guy to follow up Taylor Lewan? I think I do, even if he's a great player and even if eventually he becomes that left tackle. So that's mysterious to me, but I think that's the answer. I think for right now, he's probably an interior offensive lineman for them, a starter, but maybe not the position you thought. And then the quarterback thing, look, I think they got value in Will Levis in the second round because he was a top 10 or 15 prospect by pretty much everyone. And so the idea they got him in the second round, that's a value pick. But at the end of the day, the judgment of that pick, and frankly, Rand Carthon's first draft as a whole, is going to be determined by what Will Levis ultimately is. And I think for this season, he's Ryan Tannehill's backup. And he's Ryan Tannehill's backup as long as Tannehill stays healthy and the Titans stay in the playoff or division race. And Will Levis won't play. If Tannehill gets hurt, he's in there. And if you get to November or December and the Titans are out of the race, completely out of it and can't play for anything, then I think you have to go to Levis because remember, being a second-round pick, there's no fifth-year option. So you got to have your mind completely made up on him in 4 years, and November or December will be nearly 1 year into that run. So if you're out of it, you got to go to him then and see what you've got.
We spoke with Nick Suss yesterday from the Tennessean about the quarterback situation in particular, and he suggested, Steve, that the Titans may try to find a way to keep three quarterbacks because that's what Rand Carthon or the 49ers did, at least, there in San Francisco, because they learned the importance of having enough healthy quarterbacks on the roster. What do you think about the idea, because we all think that Malik Willis is on borrowed time, essentially. Do you think it's possible that all three end up here in some capacity?
I think it's possible, and you bring up a good point, Justin, that Rand Carthon may be a little bit shell-shocked from what the 49ers went through last year with all the injuries at that position, and potentially would want to guard against that with people within his own building as opposed to finding guys off the street. But even if they're committed to keeping three guys around, how confident are you that the third guy should be Malik Willis? I think that's the issue they have right now, is there was nothing we saw last year from Willis that indicates that he's ready to be an NFL quarterback, even a backup quarterback. So much so that they went out and they brought Joshua Dobbs off the street to come in and start the two most meaningful games of the year at the end of the season. That's how they felt internally at the end of last year. I don't know if that's changed at all now, but even if they keep three, I have real questions whether they believe Malik Willis can be that guy long term. I mean, he's going to be around for the summer, probably into training camp, but they're going to bring in, they brought in the old Vanderbilt guy transferred to USC. Sorry, his name's escaping me right now, but that guy's going to be around at least for rookie camp here over the next week and probably into the off season. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another guy around. Logan Woodside's a guy they've loved in the building. He's not here right now, but if they had the opportunity to bring him back as a third quarterback versus Malik Willis, I think they'd bring him back at this point. So anyway, I mean, could they keep three? Sure. I think that's last resort for most GMs in the league. Would they decide to do it? Maybe. But even if they do, I'm not sure if that spells safety for Malik Willis.
They've made it very clear through the free agency moves and the draft, Steve, that wide receiver is not as big of a priority for them as it was for maybe some of the fans and some members of the media thought it would be. And I know you've spoken about it, but is it possible that they don't think that wide receiver is just all that big a deal? As far as like it's because listen, they know what's in the room. These are professional people. They understand what's in the room. They see when they talk, Steve, they talked about speed and physicality, and they have not talked about, we want to throw the ball and push the ball down the field, stretch the field. We haven't heard those kind of terms from this GM or this coach. Is it possible that we think one thing, but they're clearly thinking, we hear you, but we're not doing that. We're not doing what you guys are asking here.
If they are thinking that, I don't think they're as smart as I believe them to be, because this is what the league is. You can.
Oh, we see that, Steve, but I mean, clearly the evidence suggests other. I mean, yes, I agree, Steve, but when you have Derrick Henry, who's an offensive system, I've always argued, not just a player, he's a whole offense in and of himself, then the opportunities to throw the ball just doesn't seem to be as much. So therefore, why would you invest in that if you're really not going to do that?
Well, because at some point you have to be able to throw the ball. Because you can put 10 guys in the box, 9 guys in the box on every play versus every formation if Derrick Henry's the entire offense. Derrick Henry's a great player. I think he's the best back in a generation. I think he's a Hall of Famer. There's no getting around that. He is the central piece of the Titans offense, and he will be until he no longer puts on a Titans uniform. That said, it was very clear when the Titans offense was at its best in 2019, in 2020, and in 2021, and the compliments that they had off of that. They had a legitimate passing game. I think it was 2020. They had the most explosive plays in the league, and that wasn't all him running. That was guys making plays, a lot of it A.J. Brown, after the catch, making big-time plays in the passing game. They've got to find that. And Vrabel has said that they need to be more explosive in the passing game. He's not saying we need to be pass first, but they need to be more explosive. They need to have dynamic ability within the passing game. And I don't know, frankly, where that comes right now, unless, again, Traylon Burks and Chig Okonkwo especially are ready to take it to a totally different level this year. You may be right. I just think they looked at it as value picks, and they didn't have much money in free agency, and they went out and they brought in guys that they thought could immediately help on the offensive line. I don't think they really saw guys in free agency that they thought they could pay, that could make as big of a deal, which is why I thought this is why they're going to go after wide receiver in the draft where it's cheaper. But then they end up with Skoronski, and then Levis is available, and they go. I think they just kind of pigeonholed themselves into a place where they couldn't get the guys that they wanted, and now they've got to deal with that. But the unfortunate thing for them is there's no real ability to get a guy that is a difference maker at that position now, because all those guys are taken. They were either taken in the draft or they were already on a roster. And so I think the Titans are just going to have to figure out a way, I don't know, smoke and mirrors, to come up with some semblance of a passing game. But it cannot just be Derrick Henry 35 times a game, every game. That won't work. As good as he is, there's got to be some level of a threat in your passing game.
Yeah, you can't have a skipper of a baseball team say, I need my rotation to throw 100 miles per hour. Yeah, but they only throw in the low 90s. That's great that you want that, but I mean, that when you said all that stuff out loud, Steve, I was like, well, that sounds great, but I mean, okay, I don't know how you make all that happen. So we shall see. It's only May.
See, Darren, I think it's even more of an analogy. It's like saying in Major League Baseball right now, like, you don't want any short relievers. Like, I'm just going to have my starters and I'm going to have a closer, and they're all going to be good, and we'll just be fine. And it's like, well, yeah, but there's another part of the game generally, and you need to figure out how to get through those 2 or 3 innings. The Titans are going to have to figure out a way to convert some 3rd and 8s. They're going to have to figure out a way to be productive on first down in the passing game, so it's not always 9 guys in the box on first down against Derrick Henry. Those are the things they're going to have to figure out how to do, and maybe they'll do it with this group of guys they have in the room. But I don't know. I don't see anybody looking at the room and saying it's obvious how they're going to do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, good stuff as always. Steve, appreciate the visit. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, guys, be good. We appreciate you.
All right, Steve Lehman, News Channel 5. We'll step away. We're wide open the rest of the hour. We can talk with you at 615-844-5600. The McFarland Show rolling along here on this Wednesday.
Hello, this is Philip Cox from Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Are you looking for new and exciting things to do with the family during the spring and summer months? Thanks to Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers, you don't have to look any further. Sign up today for Kids Bowl Free, a summer pass starting in May where kids 15 and under receive 2 free games of bowling every day. You can also purchase a family pass that allows you to join the fun as well. Visit any of the 5 local Strike and Spare locations in Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Donaldson, Hermitage, and Tusculum to register, or just visit kidsbowlfree.com/Strike and Spare. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
Bob's Steak and Chop House, located in the Omni Nashville Hotel, is a nationally renowned steakhouse specializing in the finest corn-fed Midwestern prime beef. The menu formula is simple: incredible meat, gigantic shrimp, fabulous salads, and decadent desserts. Start your experience at Bob's with the fried calamari or fresh scallops seared in Texas burnt honey. All the beef at Bob's Steak and Chop House are USDA prime cuts, from the traditional filet of tenderloin and ribeye to the adventurous Kansas City bone-in strip. They even have 2 different surf and turf options. And if you're looking for the other white meat, Bob's Steak and Chop House serves a dry-aged pork tomahawk with homemade applesauce. Fresh seafood is on the menu, from salmon to scampi, and even fresh lobster tail. For reservations, give them a call or log on to the Omni Nashville Hotel website. Bob's Steak and Chop House at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Today on Hey Culligan's Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener, here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Jim Rome is here weekdays 11 to 2 on Nashville Sports Radio, WNSR.
Give the show a couple of weeks. You're not going to like it. Nobody likes this show the first time they heard it. My wife hated the show. I married her. Give it 2 weeks. If after 2 weeks you can honestly say to me, you know what? I listened to every day for 2 weeks, and the truth is, I hate you more now than I did the first day. Then I'm going to be man enough to say to you, you know what? You probably aren't that smart.
Jim Rome, 11 to 2 on Nashville's original sports radio, WNSR.
5-state forecast. Your exclusive National Sports Radio, WNSR Sky Scan forecast. Today's going to be sunny with a high of 86. Increasing clouds tonight, the low 64. Mostly cloudy Thursday. Showers become likely, maybe a thunderstorm as well, high 86. Utilizing the resources of the Weatherbug Network on National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi.
Sports Radio, WNSR.
The McFarland Show, streaming live on the WNSR app and on WNSR.com.
Battle of the Barrel last night in Louisville. Long one.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt and Louisville. I'll tell you what, their games are always interesting. They're never boring, that's for sure.
Finishing 12, right? Vanderbilt with the walk-off?
Yep. Well, it wasn't a walk-off.
Well, it wasn't a walk-off. I'm sorry. They're in Louisville.
They opened it up.
Okay.
In the 12th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a crazy, crazy game. They were down most of the entire game. By the way, 2 plays from that game, both on the defensive side, one by Vanderbilt, one by Louisville, made the top 10 in Sports Center.
Mhm.
How about that?
Yeah.
Vanderbilt hit a solo shot in the 9th to take the lead.
Mm.
And Louisville came right out and scored a run.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sort of a classic game at
To
a
tie
time,
it up.
At a time that's, it was interesting because of the death of the legendary coach up there, Denny Crum, in the background of all of that happening there as well. So, it was kind of interesting to watch the two things kind of appear on the sports headlines together, kind of side by side. Vanderbilt with the comeback win, Denny Crum remembered, all at the same time there in Louisville. So, just an interesting dynamic, I thought.
Yeah, so that's a good win for them. There's no doubt about it. Parker Nolan was the one that hit the solo shot to make it 8-7 in the 9th. But Louisville had an RBI double to tie it up. It was a good game. Like I said, there were some incredible plays. I think maybe it was at the inning before. I think so. Vanderbilt gets first and second, nobody out, and didn't score.
Nothing.
And Louisville had an unbelievable double play that they reviewed. And live, I was like, nah, he's safe. And then when they finally got around, because the game was on ESPN2, and they finally got around to, of course, here on these airwaves. I know, even though we've had some interesting conversations, yes, it was on these airwaves.
Yes, we still carry the game.
Last night. That I was like, show the replay. Jeez. And they showed the replay booth, which is interesting. It looks like they're down in a dungeon. It was kind of funny.
The replay booth?
Yeah. Like,
you don't want to see the booth. Show the play, man.
Well, they were watching. Okay. They were like kind of basically letting you see what they're seeing.
They're doing the whole XFL thing.
Yeah. And then when you did it, it's like, oh, I think he's out. Wow. Because I was like, he's safe.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Naked eye. But when they slow it down, it's like, no.
Yeah, there it is right there.
That is an amazing double play they just turned to get out of the inning.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Well, that's what you need if you're going to be Vandy, and they still didn't. So
Yeah. So good college baseball game. Now Vandy will take on Florida.
On to the next one.
For a big, huge series. Second to last series. In the conference play. It'll be down in Gainesville. And when's that series start? Adam, is that Friday? I don't think it's a Thursday, right? I think it's a Friday.
I'm sorry. Which series?
Does the series in Florida start on Friday? It's not a Thursday, right? It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. It's 12th, 13th, and 14th.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an early game. It's a 4:15 pregame on Friday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then at 5:15 on Saturday and 11:45 on Sunday.
So they first pitch is 5:30 Eastern time on Friday?
Isn't that weird?
That is a weird start time.
I want to double check that.
I was going to say, yeah, we might want to check that because I don't. That's a weird start time.
Yeah, I made the schedule a few weeks ago. I mean, a couple months ago. I mean, it's off their schedule, so they could have definitely have changed it.
Okay, all right. It's just it's the start times are interesting. I just wondered if that portion of Florida is in Central or not, or if they've because sometimes they switch back and forth.
I think Gainesville's Eastern.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
Like all the time, they're
I think
not one of those.
I think so.
Okay,
you're right though. I mean, it is hard. Everybody thinks Florida's Eastern. No,
there's a good
Central,
part of Florida that's Central time. So
I think Gainesville's Eastern.
Just thinking out loud about it, I was like, maybe.
Did you see the story? Speaking of baseball, did you see the story of the Dodgers just started up a series in Milwaukee last night?
Okay.
They're staying at this old historic hotel, the team hotel for the Dodgers in Milwaukee. I guess it's like 130 years old.
Well, it's Milwaukee, so.
It's notoriously, it's known for being haunted.
Oh, really?
So Mookie Betts would not stay there.
Oh.
He got an Airbnb.
Oh, I'll have to do that. No, we're not staying in here.
And there's been plenty of players. I was reading Bryce Harper said he woke up one morning in the hotel. He thought somebody was in the room. He checked the door. Everything was still latched. His clothes were on all over the floor. And one of the items had been moved to the other side of the room.
Nope.
And he said no one was in there.
Nope. Time to go. Nope. We'll sleep in the dugout. Nope. Sleeping in the locker room. No, we're not doing that. In the clubhouse. No, we're not doing that.
So it's apparently pretty known fact amongst major leaguers. And so Mookie Betts said, I'm out.
No, y'all play too much. No, I'm not doing that. No, we're not doing that.
I am not staying in that hotel.
No, you have a decision to make. No, you're not saying, because we don't have to be here. Why do we have to be here? No. What happened?
Right, there's got to be more hotels in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I know it's hotels. Milwaukee, but you don't have to stay in a 130-year-old hotel with the old, brewmasters there on the wall or anything like that. For what? We're staying here at the Cheesemaker Hotel here in Milwaukee. No.
The Cheesemaker.
No, we're not doing that anymore. No. There's no need for that. No.
Don't they have an Omni in Milwaukee?
I'm sure they do. And if not, I know for a fact that, Miller Park or whatever they're calling it these days is not haunted. Is it still Miller Park up there?
Yeah.
In Milwaukee? Yeah. That's not haunted. The only thing that haunts there is the, MLB All-Star Game memories of old. But, that's not going to hurt you. They're not going to scatter your uniform and clothes all over the floor.
So do you believe in ghosts? Because, you were pretty quick of, nope.
Listen, I believe in powers and principalities that are not of this world. Let's call it like that.
Well, then you believe it.
Is it ghost exactly? Yeah.
Okay.
There's a book somewhere that talks about other things that may be out there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you woke up in a room and you saw your clothes all over the floor and an item was moved to the other side of the room.
Yeah.
You're saying I'm out of here?
I would be out of there. But then again, I would also, if I believed in it that hardcore, I would know who and what did it and decide that, I don't have to be in here with it. And decide, it's time to get. No, if they want it that bad, they can have it. If you just want this room that bad, all you have to do is say, "This is my room," and then, you need to take this up with management because management seemed to think that this room was available. You need to talk with the manager.
Is there some personal experiences here?
No personal experiences here. No, you have to, just saying, I've been taught certain things.
It's interesting because, it feels like we've got Terry Crisp on right now. You have a lot of passion for somebody who's has no experience, no familiarity with weird, things like that.
Not necessarily, no.
You seem to be very passionate about it.
No, I'm not passionate. I'm just clear. That's all.
Okay.
Just clear.
Okay.
All those Vandy times are verified.
Okay.
What I said.
So 4:15, 4:30 start on Friday. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. We'll step away. We'll come back, wrap up the first hour of the McFarland Show next.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that'll bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your visit today at baseballhall.org.
Just because you can't see it or smell it, radon gas is everywhere. Caused by natural radioactive decay, it is the leading cause of lung cancer in women, children, and non-smoking men. And with Davidson County homes testing higher than the national average, now is the time for radon testing. Radon Mitigation is Nashville's licensed and NRPP certified radon mitigation company who can test your home, install systems, and maintain continuous meters for daily readouts on their simple-to-use app. If you're buying or selling a home, save money on costly repairs and expensive inspections. Let Alex and his team at Radon Mitigation make your home a clean air home. Give them a call today at 931-47-RADON. That's 931-477-2366. Or online at ChooseRadont.com. That's ChooseRadont.com.
Hey, I'm Alex with Radon Mitigation, proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves on WNSR.
Breaking news.
Tax refund shock is everywhere, but what is it?
My tax refund shrank.
Mine too. The culprit? Pandemic-related stimulus payments and tax credits expiring. In this reporter's opinion, you need a tax expert.
Hey guys, Jackson Hewitt guarantees your biggest refund.
And tax prep is 50% off? Going there now.
50% off is a limited-time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Do you ever feel like gambling is causing financial strain or hurting your relationships? The Gambling Clinic has been helping people who want to change their gambling habits for over 2 decades. With physical clinics and remote online appointments, we're here to help you make informed decisions about your gambling so it doesn't lead to a bigger problem. Visit us at thegamblingclinic.com so we can work together to help you win your life back. This project is funded by the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
The 2023 Atlanta Braves are back, and with a loaded roster of young talent and some new faces in the A, it's going to be another wild season.
First pitch is drilled to center field, spreading in Harris, he dives, and Michael's got it.
Tonight, the Braves are back on the field in Atlanta as they square up against Justin Turner and the Boston Red Sox, live from Truist Park.
Coverage begins this afternoon at 6:05 on Nashville's Braves station, Nashville Sports Radio. Titans fans, Preds fans, the McFarland Show has you covered. Give us a call, 615-844-5600. The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
We'll talk to the man who's had his finger on the pulse of Nashville for a long time.
Boy,
coming up
ever.
at 3:15, Butch Spirited.
Mm-hmm.
Find out what he's up to.
You never know with Butch again. You just never know.
We've enjoyed our conversations with him on this show. And of course, we can ask him about the new stadium now that it's done.
Yeah.
Now that it's finally over and that book is closed and we can start moving forward.
Yes.
And oh, by the way, the Taylor Swift Sunday night concert that we talked about on Monday's show would have been over at the normal time instead of 1:45 in the morning.
Yeah. And, there's been a lot of complaints about about the rain and there not being adequate shelter and all these kinds of things. And, unfortunately, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we know, they know that this is inadequate. It's never been adequate.
Honestly,
for 20 years,
No.
It's never been adequate. We've all known that. And, it stinks that the only way, if you're in the middle of a downpour, lightning storm, or something like that at the current Nissan Stadium, the only way to escape that really is by using the ramps to go down, which are also open and to the elements and outdoors. I mean, it's just, it was poor design from the start, and, and they know.
They went on the cheap. I mean, it's okay. It's served its purpose. It's run its course. And it's time to move on, and that's what they're doing.
And that's what they're doing.
Yeah, thank goodness, because that wasn't the plan.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, your plan's wrong. Your plan is wrong. You do not need to put lipstick on the pig.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not going to do that. But no, there's no way to fix that up there. Because it was poor design anyway. There was never anywhere to be up there. And, we never asked the questions at the time. The media at the time.
Yeah.
We didn't think about it. We just didn't.
Well, I think everybody was just giddy that we had an NFL team.
You got it.
And a new football stadium.
You got it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for the first hour. We'll come back more on the other side as you listen to the McFarland Show, WNSR.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
ABC News, I'm Andy Field. Republican Congressman George Santos pleading not guilty to charges including fraudulent schemes connected to his campaign funds. ABC's chief legal analyst Dan Abrams.
This isn't about George Santos lying about his resume. That's not what these charges are going to. This is about stealing money. And they're pretty clear here in part about what they were for. That Santos was using it to make personal purchases, including designer clothing.
A court released Santos on a $500,000 bail. President Biden warning of dire consequences if Congress does not raise the debt limit and the U.S. defaults on its payments. He accused Republicans of holding Americans hostage. Republicans want federal spending cuts attached to the increase on the debt ceiling. Air sirens sounding in Israel, Palestinian militant groups firing hundreds of rockets from Gaza in retaliation. This is ABC News.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
Those stomach issues ruined your birthday.
You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa.
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
if these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist and ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM. a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
WNSR, Nashville Sports
There
Radio.
are a lot of fun days in May. There's Cinco de Mayo. There's May the 4th be with you. There's No Socks Day. What? May all your days be winners this month with the all-new Instant Games. They feature top prizes up to $200,000 and are waiting for you at your nearest Tennessee Lottery retailer. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
The Tennessee Lottery congratulates this year's graduates from all the colleges and universities across the state. Your achievements set the stage for a brighter tomorrow. We're happy to have helped along the way by raising more than $6.8 billion for education and funding over $1.9 million scholarships and grants, including Hope Scholarships, Tennessee Promise, and much more. Visit DionLottery.com to see how our proceeds support successful futures.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call now at 615-844-5600.
Oh, righty there.
Now the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour of the McFarland Show. Strike and Spare Family Fun Center Studio. Darren McFarland, Justin McFarland here with you. Adam Johnson is alongside. One more hour to go. 615-844-5600 is how you get in touch with us. That is our phone line and our text line. You can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
We are here.
NBA playoffs last night. Sixers just go into Boston and dominate the Celtics.
Yeah.
Just dominated them. 115-103. Joel Embiid had 33 points. Was a little surprised. Boston didn't have any answer for them. They were just too much. I thought Philadelphia was the better team, and they deserved to win. Now they've got the hardest thing in sports to do.
Yeah.
To win that fourth game.
Yeah.
The closeout game.
They seem to be the team to beat right now in the NBA, I would think.
Who, Philly?
Yeah, the 76ers. Between Embiid and Harden, that's a tough out. You expect one of them to really, have a good game at some point, and to beat them 4 straight times seems to be a tough task to do. Unless you've got a really great defensive plan for both of them, and I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah, well, James Harden doesn't exactly have a ton of playoff success, so I don't
doesn't.
know if I trust him.
So you're just waiting on James Harden meltdown, and that could happen. That's happened plenty before.
Yeah.
So
they're up 3-2. We'll see if they can close it out in Philadelphia, because if they don't, it's going back to Boston for Game 7.
You don't need all that. Yeah.
And the nightcap, it was all Nuggets. Denver just pulling away 118-102 to the Suns. So Denver takes the 3-2 lead.
Yeah.
In that one. So same deal.
That one could be going 7, I think, is the way it feels anyway.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like I just don't think.
I think it's going to go to Phoenix. They're going to win, and then it's going to go back to Denver for Game 7.
I don't think Phoenix is just going to lay down, in Game 6 at all. Denver's going to have to take it from them. I'm not sure they can.
Your favorite word, momentum?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
Remember when New Jersey scored 8 goals on Carolina?
Yes.
2 nights ago?
Well,
how'd that momentum go? Because then Carolina won last night 6-1.
Yeah.
So
swing.
So much for momentum, huh?
Yeah. Well, Uncle Mo switches jerseys all the time, so that Uncle Mo. Uncle Mo's, is not a loyal guy. He switches jerseys all the time.
So they're up 3-1. Dallas Stars, speaking of momentum, again, Seattle's had all the momentum. They hung 7 on Dallas. Dallas goes to Seattle, and in Game 4, well, they stayed in Seattle, and they won 6-3. So that series is even at 2.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's bring in Nate, who wants to weigh in on the show. Nate, what's up?
What's up, guys? I actually won a few bucks off of that Carolina game last night during the first intermission. Yeah, during first intermission, I was like, for some reason, I think Carolina's going to pull it out. And they not only pulled it out, they destroyed New Jersey.
Yeah, you were happy about the 5 goals in the second period.
Oh yeah, I was at a local establishment here in Columbia. I had just the right angle to have the game in the corner of my eye, and I kept looking over there. I was like, "Wait, what happened?"
Let me ask you something real quick while I'm thinking about it before you get to your point. What do you think of PK on the desk?
So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to listen to him last night.
Well, I mean, he's been doing it the whole playoffs. I mean, you've probably seen him. So what do you think?
I'm probably biased because I like him as a person since he was here in Nashville. And, I mean, I think he's doing a great job. What do you think?
I can't make up my mind. Some nights I like him, and some nights I'm like, yeah. So, I don't know. I'm still evaluating my thoughts, my opinions.
Yeah,
so, like I said, sometimes I like what he's bringing to the table, and sometimes I'm like, I know that's not
like Ryan Tannehill.
Well, no, he's bringing more to the table than I mean. Look, nothing against Ryan Tannehill, but I've never thought of Ryan Tannehill as Mr. Personality. So PK's got a personality. We know that. It's just a matter of now I want to hear him, sometimes I don't like Messier will do it and Chelios will do it. I want to hear him get into the nuts and bolts of the game. He played it for a long time, right? So he knows the nuts and bolts of the game, and I want him to do that. And sometimes it just seems like he's more interested in goofing around. So, but then there's other times when I really, really like what he's doing. So it's yet to be determined for me.
Yeah. So what do you make of Toronto? Because we were kind of high on them. I mean, were you when they came out of the first series against the Bolts, and then we had the Panthers playing them, and we're like, oh, this might actually be a decent draw for Toronto. Well, I mean, not really.
Well, if you go back and review the tape, and Justin, if he remembers,
I do.
I said, it was hey, congratulations, Toronto, you're out of the first round. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. First time, 6 straight years being out in the first round and haven't been, the second round, it says like 0-4. So good for you. But I told Justin, I said this on these airwaves, I said, yeah, but Florida also looks kind of scary. They kind of remind me of that Predators team. Maybe they're that team that's getting hot at the right time. I mean, don't forget, last season, they were the President's Trophy winning team. And, oh, by the way, they got Matthew Tkachuk in the offseason. I know they had to trade for him and they gave up assets, but they got Matthew Tkachuk. He was a bona fide superstar. And so I was like, man, Florida kind of looks really, really dangerous. So I said that before the series. I didn't say I was predicting them to sweep Toronto. I don't even know if I said they were going to win the series. I said Florida kind of looks like that scary team that nobody had on anyone's radar, and now they may end up being that team that makes the deep run.
Do you think Toronto just kind of, they got that first round monkey off their back and they exhaled a little too much?
I think this is less about Toronto and more about Florida. Is what I'm gathering here. This is less about the failure of Toronto and more about the mission from God that Florida seems to be on.
It's the Rats, man. The Rats, they're back.
Then why isn't Marchand on their team?
Could you imagine?
Oh, my gosh.
Jeez. Go on and give them the cup if that were the case.
Talk about grittiness.
Yeah, no doubt. So, it'll be interesting to see if they can close it out tonight. I suspect Toronto will probably come out swinging, and so I would say if you're looking for a play tonight, I'd play the Leafs.
Yeah, but if you were a Toronto fan, wouldn't you kind of want them to close it, or would want the Panthers to close it out tonight, so you wouldn't have to have the disappointment on your home ice?
No.
Are you kidding?
No, Nate.
The Toronto Maple Leafs fans, disappointment. You don't. Whatever happens to them tonight cannot be more disappointing or any less disappointing than what they've already been through. This is one of the flagship organizations in all the sports here, and they have been nothing at in decades.
They live in disappointment, Nate.
They do.
They live in misery.
It's rough for them. The Toronto, if you think about it, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and this just be real, they're supposed to be much better than this as a franchise. This is like one of the, golden franchises in all sports. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is the home of hockey, and it's not been good.
Yeah. Well, Blackhawks suck. Y'all have a good day, guys.
All right, we agree.
Well,
Thank you, Nate. Yeah, we agree.
Blackhawks.
You can say that anytime you want to. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's the thing down here.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
I saw this on Twitter, like CB, that could be his nickname, Connor Bernard, Chicago Blackhawks. I was like, wow, that's where you guys are at, man. You guys are really creative. Hey, do you have the same team that came up with the McFarland Show?
Apparently.
Yeah, CB.
They hired the same firm.
Wow.
Man. So
Toronto, really catchy, isn't it?
Toronto's the home of the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I've been there. It's the weirdest place ever.
It's a weird place, really.
Yeah, well, it's like you would never know it. It's in the basement of a building. Like, it's so weird.
Okay, well, that is weird.
Like, you pull up and you're like,
where is it?
What? No, we just did an Uber. No, this is literally what the wife and I did. We were,
so it doesn't stand out like
where the Uber just took off. Like, hey, we need you to come. Like, I think you dropped us off the wrong place.
So it's not as obvious as the College Football Hall of Fame is.
No, it is
because the College Football Hall of Fame will let you know.
Or Canton. Okay, I've been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Okay, but
you know when you are at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you're not going, is this it?
Is this
no,
it?
you're not doing it. You're like, oh, cool, all right. No, you pull up, you get, or in our case, we got dropped off, and it's like, this looks like just a corporate building downtown. What? Did we give him the right address?
Yeah, because
this is, I don't see a hall.
I don't see a Hall of Fame.
Let's just go in the building. Yeah, you need to go downstairs.
You give the password and they let you downstairs.
Is there a secret knock? Like, no, you just got to go downstairs.
So what's the password? Like, Gordie Howe. That's today's password.
Is there a
and we're going
sign
downstairs.
anywhere that says Hockey Hall of Fame this way?
Yeah, apparently. Okay. See, I didn't know that. That is fascinating, actually.
And then when you get in it, it's really cool, but
you got to get there.
You got to get. Hey, look, if a tornado comes, you're cool, man. You're not going to get hurt.
It's not as open air as the upper deck in Nissan Stadium.
It's good storm shelter down there, man.
No, you don't have to worry about the snow or any of that down there.
No. But it's honestly, I haven't been to all the Hall of Fames. Next year, I'm going to go to Cooperstown.
Okay.
I've never been there. I haven't been to NBA Hall of Fame. That's in Springfield, Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Haven't been there, but I've been to pro football. I actually haven't been. I've been outside. I haven't been in the College Football Hall of Fame down in Atlanta.
Okay.
But I've seen it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You haven't been there?
No. I know. I can't believe that I haven't been there.
Well,
I know.
We were able to, we broadcasted Bill King and Greg Pogue from the lobby.
When they did the SEC Media Days there?
No, it was the first year of the college football playoffs, and it was like the first round of the playoffs, and they were playing in Atlanta. And we were down there at the Omni Atlanta Downtown Hotel, which is connected to the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And so 1 or 2 days we were at the Omni Hotel broadcasting, and then like the last day we did it from the College Football Hall of Fame, and they treated us first class. It took us through the whole venue where you get to pick your team at the beginning, and then every room you walk into, it's like oriented and themed with your team that you picked at the beginning. And so it's like a custom experience the whole time.
Okay.
No, there's a lot of history. I have a ton of pictures on my phone from that day. So if you guys ever have an opportunity, and you're in the area down there and you have some time, it's worth it. It's fun.
All right. Good stuff. That was well done. I want to go now after hearing that. All right. We'll come back. We'll bring in Butch Spearden. We'll bring him into the mix here on the McFarland Show, WNSR.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the TSSAA and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh yeah, love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingarone, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
And the ding.
Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs, ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. Package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Visit starleasing.com to learn more.
Sports fans, listen to Youth Connect on Monday nights at 6 and hear me, Seagull Boys basketball coach Matt Rigsby and Darren McFarland.
Hey, listen to Youth Connect on Monday nights from 6 until 7 o'clock as we highlight high-level trainers, coaches, and players in and around Middle Tennessee. Give us a call at 615-844-5600. We live video stream all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
And hear me, Seagull Boys basketball coach Matt Rigsby.
And hear me, Darren McFarland, live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
The McFarland Show, broadcasting live in Rutherford County on 107.9 FM.
He is the Nashville Convention and Visitors Corporation CEO. But I'm not sure for how much longer. Butch Spearden now joins us on the McFarland Show, who I think is heading towards the airport. He may be just getting out of town. They're like, this is it. Guys, see you later. Going to Aruba.
But you're gonna get an emeritus title after this, right? Like you'll be the emeritus. Is that right?
I need that, Justin. So thank you. I am leaving town, but I will be back. I got about 6 more weeks, so y'all have to put up with me for a little bit longer.
So 6 more
Not
weeks. That's got to be weird for you to think about that, right? After this run, man, this is 3+ decades.
It's weird when it comes out of my mouth, for sure. Yeah, 3 decades. It's a lot of time.
So I've burned up the roads. I got dog years on this body, and it's mostly been fun. But damn, it's been a lot.
So who you going to talk with, Butch? You got any scoop to tell us? You going to break any news? Who you
Am I
bringing to
gonna say that
town?
again?
Who you going to go meet with and bring to town down the road? Can you break any news for us?
Actually, I'm going to go take a couple of days off and do a short recharge so that I can attack more airlines and more events.
Okay. We thought of you on Monday's show because, we know how crazy the city was over the weekend and how many people were in town. And, obviously there was a huge concert at Nissan Stadium for 3 nights and Taylor Swift. And, what happened on Sunday night, won't have to worry about that. Once the new stadium is built, you can actually have these shows and not worry about what it's doing outside.
Start on time and end on time.
Yeah.
There was a part of me, I definitely wanted them to get the concert in, but I kind of wanted one last moment of this is why, or one of the reasons why. So there was a little poetic justice, and I'm glad it came off, and I'm glad that people got their show in. But let me put it in context. I literally just got a text from our research team. Saturday alone was worth $14.8 million just in hotel spend. One day in the city, just in Davidson County, $14.8 million. That's a good day.
Todd Rodemel told our station that when the Taylor Swift tickets went on sale, in less than 48 hours, they were completely sold out. The downtown Omni.
Oh, yeah. He got average rate, and it's not always all good, but average rate downtown was over $500 for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But, people were willing to pay it. People pay for the ticket. People pay for the room. They want the convenience. They want the experience. And, at the end of the day, people vote with their wallets. And so if it's worth it, they'll do it.
This is true. So we haven't talked to you since everything is wrapped up, and it is official that the Titans and the city and everybody is moving forward with this new stadium. I know we had talked to you throughout the process, but now that it's over, what were your thoughts?
A bit surreal, also gratifying. Really happy for Burke and the Titans. They worked their tails off on this, but a good group effort too. The pros finally pushed hard enough to counter the negative, which the negative was, I get opposition to, there's opposition to everything, but it really got to where it was very disingenuous, misinformation. And I like a fair fight. I don't mind a fight. But I like a fair one.
Yeah, it did seem like, and I think I know where you're going with it. Certainly Justin, with the morning gig, knows a heck of a lot more than me because that's really the hat he wears 5 hours every morning. And certainly you're well equipped, Butch, but it did seem like, from my perspective, and I know Justin and I would talk about it on the air, it just seems like there were just some people like, well, we've got to have some naysayers. Like, we need to have some people that oppose. So I guess I'll just stand up and oppose. At least that's what it felt like from my perspective.
Yeah, and there are people that, what about affordable housing or whatever? But we all want that. But at some point, you have to pay for the things you want. And property tax from the East Bank, sales tax from big events, that's how you pay for that stuff. You don't pay for it by doing nothing, because the only option there is raise everybody's taxes, raise property taxes some more. And nobody really wants that. But it got left out of the argument. How are you going to pay for the things you want?
Yeah.
And, we don't have an income tax, so your choices are property tax, or as we like to call it, importing sales tax. Let other people help pay for things. Mostly it works, but and admittedly, we have some growing pains to manage. So that's equally important.
Is the award show, the NHL award show, and the draft here going to be kind of your swan song? Is that going to be the last big event? What is the swan song for Butch Spirit?
Well, it was, and we're helping produce, plan, all of that. But then SEC Media Days, I'll be back, even though I'm not on the payroll. We stepped in to help with, the Broadway bridge closing issue. There were just a number of things, and we're knee-deep with our friends at the SEC, and they've been helpful on the stadium, and we're just growing our relationship. So we're going to do some big things during the middle of July to show them that they need to bring that back more often as well.
Butch, there are so many things I can get and talk to you about, but I want to start with the thing that somehow went under the radar, and I was able to scope out this morning, and that is the possible movement of the New Year's Eve bash that you proposed yesterday to the Metro Parks. And for those who don't know, here in our sports audience, Mr. Spiriton made the proposal, or at least made the ask yesterday, if they would move the bash from Bicentennial Park and move it over to Centennial Park. And you're doing that in part, Butch, because the rent is a little bit too high over at the Bicentennial Park these days. And were you a little surprised about the rent increase, I would imagine?
Yeah, we knew a few months ago.
Okay.
They had informed us. They've been very transparent. But, yeah, it was a significant jump in rent. And we want to pay and we want to be a good partner. But it is a really expensive event. It does not have a ticket. And so every time somebody adds something to the nut, it comes out of the bottom line. And the bottom line is us. And so we're just looking for options right now, trying to see if Centennial Park could be a possibility.
Yeah, and, I know they were concerned about the lawn over there, Butch, but this reminds me a little bit of the tree situation during the NFL draft, to the point to where you guys have had to, and, and you chuckle, and rightfully so, but you know how big of a deal that became, so much so that you guys had to hire, a full-time person just to handle the shrubbery, handle grass and trees for movement of these events. Is that right?
Well, that one got out of hand early. The rumor mill ran amok. And yeah, it cost a considerable amount of money. Half the trees were dead, and they're ornamental. They don't live very long. But, we stepped up and manned up and did everything we could to make it right. And now we're talking to Centennial, and they're worried about the grass, which I understand, but it is a lawn. It was rebuilt to be an event lawn. You could check with Bicentennial. We have put it back better than we found it every year that we've been there. So a lot of, not in my backyard, false fear. And I, to a degree, I get it, especially in the world we live in now. But we have this gorgeous park. Garth Brooks had 1 million people at Central Park. London Hyde Park does a month-long festival every summer. That's what partially parks are for. That's why you have green space in cities. But we love Centennial Park, and we would never do anything to damage it. So,
all right,
we'd like to put it on national TV.
Moving it back over to the sports realm here very quickly, how hopeful are you that, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there, Butch, that the Music City Bowl becomes a playoff game?
It'd be easier for me to say that I'm more than hopeful. I'm pretty optimistic that we'll have a playoff game. I think the whole bowl scenario is a whole nother conversation, and most of the bowls are probably not long for this world or not long in the current structure. So I think and I'm on the board of the Music City Bowl, so I'm not, it's got some vulnerabilities, just like all the bowls right now, to even have any kind of existence. But that's as much to do with the playoffs. And the new stadium gives us a chance to hopefully eventually be in a rotation. And that's quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. So there'll be a lot of enclosed stadiums that get used. So I'm very optimistic we can land that. And I think the jury is out on what happens with bowl games.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, Butch, what you're saying is there's going to be, or it could, in theory, in your mind, there'll be a Music City Bowl, then pause another game that is a college football playoff game, not that the two things will be one and the same.
If the Music City Bowl can find a path to stick around, and that includes whatever the colleges do as well as what the bowl can do, yes, we'd be more likely to have two than to have one turn into something else.
Wow. Okay. Last thing for me, Butch, is I understand that the WWE has made a commitment. Can you confirm that WrestleMania is going to be the first big event here in the Dome, and the WWE has made that commitment?
Right now, April of 27, WrestleMania will be hosted in this city as long as the stadium stays on construction. So yes, we haven't inked it, but we have consummated our agreement, shaken hands, and really the written parts on me. I owe them a document, and I just haven't had time.
And this is with the new ownership that they have, correct? This is not.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What are you doing October 15th, Butch? Thinking about going to London?
I got on text last night and started working on it. I have intentions of being there. I haven't worked it out yet.
Nice.
Yeah, I really want to go.
Nice. All right. Hey, good. We know you're getting away. Go enjoy yourself. Take a couple days off. Appreciate you doing it as always, and we'll talk to you soon.
Anytime, boys. Appreciate y'all.
Always
Thank
appreciate
you, Butch. Thank you
Spirited.
so much, sir.
Yep. He is Nashville Convention and Visitors Corporation CEO for another 6 weeks.
Yeah.
30 years. 30 years.
30 years and 2 stadiums now.
Good stuff, as always. All right, we're wide open the rest of the hour. We can talk with you. If you would like to join the show, we'd love to have you. 615-844-5600. 844-5600 is the phone line, the text line. Good stuff from Butch Spirited. We'll come back. More of the McFarland Show next.
Music City will be rocking June 23rd through the 25th with a different sound. The sound of NASCAR.
Start your engine!
The Ally 400 is back at Nashville Superspeedway, and this year, it's a night race. NASCAR in Nashville. It's guitars and fast cars under the lights. Visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com to get your tickets for the triple header weekend, including the Ally 400, Tennessee Lottery 250, and the Rackley Roofing 200 today.
Greg Pogue back once again to tell you about Bongo Java, Nashville's oldest and most celebrated coffee company, located in the Omni Nashville Hotel. Bongo Java's expert baristas take pride in their trade, serving up fresh, locally roasted coffee, classic handcrafted espresso, drinks, and fresh baked goods all day long. Start your day with an American or cold brew, or for a taste of Music City, grab a West End latte flavored with local honey and cinnamon. A Breakfast Club biscuit or an everything all-at-once sandwich will fill you up and let you focus on your day. Bongo Java also has you covered for lunch with tasty deli sandwiches served on fresh-baked ciabatta bread like the I'll Have What She's Having or the Godfather. Bongo Java, open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Enjoy a fresh cup of Bongo Java in the heart of Music City. Bongo Java is the Nashville way to start the day. Bongo Java in the Omni Nashville Hotel, downtown 5th Avenue, Music City.
Post-COVID travel is on a surge. Many of you are traveling for fun because you've been locked up for 2 years. Listen, whether you're traveling for fun to Italy, Greece, Spain, France, or somewhere else fun in the world, or USA, now is a great time to book before the crowds hit and save. Plus, with a strong U.S. dollar, you'll get more travel bang for your buck. Right now is a smart time to make your reservations and call low-cost airlines. With one phone call, you can let us do all the work for free. We'll shop hundreds of airlines, hotels, resorts, and give you a way to save huge money on your vacation plans. And if you call right now, we'll give you a free hotel room with a qualified travel purchase. So call right now.
800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. That's 800-704-1662.
Hello, this is Philip Cox from Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Are you looking for new and exciting things to do with the family during the spring and summer months? Thanks to Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers, you don't have to look any further. Sign up today for Kids Bowl Free, a summer pass starting in May where kids 15 and under receive 2 free games of bowling every day. You can also purchase a family pass that allows you to join the fun as well. Visit any of the 5 local Strike and Spare locations in Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Donaldson, Hermitage, and Tusculum to register, or just visit kidsbowlfree.com/Strike and Spare. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
This is the Greg Pogue and John Burton Show.
So it's Miss Amy now for everybody, right?
Apparently it's Miss Amy.
It's Miss Amy, Miss Amy.
I call her AAS.
I call her owner. And then
The boss.
You know what she is? She's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Damn, bro. She's a gangster.
She knows what
she's a gangster.
She knows what she's doing.
Yep.
Greg Pogue and News Channel 5's John Burton, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Welcome back to the Strike and Spare Studios. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Butch Spearden dropping some knowledge and some facts here on the show. How about this? $14.8 million impact
for one
in
night.
Davidson County for Saturday night's
Taylor Swift concert.
Swift concert.
Among other things.
The
There were other things
hotels.
in town, but yeah, just the hotels.
$14.8 million.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah. You know.
Economic impact.
It's pretty large. Butch also mentioned the fact that WrestleMania is scheduled to be here in April of 2027.
Oh, you caught that too, huh?
I did.
I was like, that's earlier in the year.
That's
April.
earlier than so here's what that means.
He didn't say August. He said April.
Here's what that means, everybody. You know, just to lay out the calendar, because I've got the calendar basically memorized here at this point. The football season, we all know, starts in August and September.
Oh, really? September.
September.
Oh, you're right. Preseason games.
Preseason games,
yeah.
which definitely count here. So preseason games begin in August. And before preseason games, the last major event, typically in Nissan Stadium, is the CMA Music Fest, which happens in June of every single year. What Mr. Spearden is saying is that the brand new stadium should be ready in the spring or April of 2027, which would mean that the first major event there in the stadium could be WrestleMania, which would roll right over into the CMA Music Fest there in June of 27, which would roll right over into the fall football season for both the Titans and TSU, and some type of kickoff classic in college football, perhaps, there in, early September, late August. There.
Sure, that's already in the works.
Yeah.
Some neutral site game between Alabama and USC.
Probably. Well, it could. You
know what I mean?
You're
I'm
right.
just throwing out
because
names.
I'm thinking about the ACC, SEC thing, and you're right. We may be beyond that now. So maybe now we are thinking about, USC, Alabama, or something like that here in Nashville, or who knows what at that point.
You don't think Nick Saban will want to put his little footprint on the new stadium and Nashville and all the recruiting they do here?
Possibly, but here's the other thing we haven't even discussed is that by 2027, there'll be a couple of other teams in the SEC, Oklahoma and Texas.
That's a good point.
Will be here as well. And so, maybe they will be the ones, Texas, Oregon, or something like that, Texas, USC. In the city Vince Young used to play in there at the Dome. I don't know. The opportunities are endless with that kind of thing. And by the way, won't USC be in the Big Ten by that point?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So, it becomes less, SEC, Pac-12 and SEC Big Ten type of situation. But the other thing I wanted to chat about here very quickly is the fact that the Music City Bowl that Butch says he's on the board of would be separate from a college playoff game. I was under the impression that the college playoff games were going to be kind of folded into the existing bowl games, and Mr. Spiriton is saying that is not probably, in his estimation, going to be the case. And he's also floating the idea that maybe the Music City Bowl and a few others won't survive. So my question is,
I think it was more than just a few others.
Yeah.
He was kind of painting the picture like the current bowl system. The way I took it was the current bowl system. There's a lot of bowls in serious jeopardy.
Yeah. So,
are we surprised by that?
I guess
honestly?
not.
With 12 teams?
Yeah. And you were struggling to
playoff?
find some bowl eligible teams as it were.
Yeah. I know, look, we have to understand this. And I have to understand. This has been a learning curve for me because I used to be like so many times, there's too many bowls. This is so ridiculous. Everybody's getting in. There's nothing prestigious about it.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much. You're 6-6. Oh, wait a minute. Now you can have a losing record in so many.
Yeah.
What are we doing? I now get it. And it's not just now. I'm saying over time, I have figured out that all that stuff is completely irrelevant. Because here's why. It's literally about just providing us every night in the month of December with something on television to watch and to gamble on. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We're gambling on. It's like, you don't care about Central Michigan versus La Tech in the Bahamas Bowl.
Yeah.
And again, I'm just throwing out things. I don't care about the affiliate. Don't say they're not affiliated with that Bahamas Bowl, so they couldn't be in there. That conference. Okay, I'm just throwing out an example. You don't care about that. Well, gamblers do.
Yeah. And the schools do, to be fair.
And the schools do. And people are just bored on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
They don't watch anything else. They'll watch while they're sitting there wrapping gifts.
Yeah.
I sat there. Tells you what state out. What was that, Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
I sat there, wrapped gifts, watched MTSU.
Yeah.
Last year.
I was going to say.
Hawaii Bowl. That was Christmas Eve, wasn't it?
If we had Rick Stockstill on right now, I'm sure he'd be banging the drum for the Bahamas Bowl, for the
Hawaii,
the Aloha Bowl out there in Hawaii. Those are two games that he has gone and participated in. There was a number of fans and officials who traveled to those games. Those were extra practices that he was able to get in for the betterment of his program. So, I think there's some benefit here to the universities, and there's a payout, by the way, too, for them to go to these games. But I just wonder why wouldn't and why would the Music City Bowl in particular be in danger of not being around? Because not all the games are going to die. And
it's been a really popular one. It's been one of the more popular ones that wasn't in the rotation, so to speak.
It would seem like the closer you get to New Year's Day, the more juice your bowl had.
That's right.
And the Music City Bowl has always been one that has never been before. I don't think the bowl game's ever been before Christmas. It's always been
it's been
post-Christmas.
December? I think the earliest, wasn't one year, it was like
28th or 29th.
28th or 29th is the earliest I can ever remember. Usually it's the 30th. Or 31st.
It would seem like the pre-Christmas games would be the ones that would struggle, I would think. But maybe I just don't understand.
Well, personally, just me. Again, common sense, and I know I'm saying common sense, so they probably won't do it. if you're going to keep having these games, these playoff games on Christmas, on
The
New
bowl
Year's
games.
Eve,
Yeah.
playoff games.
Oh, no, you're saying playoff. Okay.
You need to get rid of the other bowl. Like, do not have other bowl games on the 31st. Don't. Just don't do it. Let everybody have the buildup of the playoff games on New Year's Eve. Don't have games starting at 11 o'clock. It's just, don't do it. Well, remember, the Music City Bowl was that way last year, right? Was here. The Kentucky-Iowa game was the same night as Clemson, Tennessee was that night. No, there was a playoff.
That's the Orange Bowl, yeah,
the Georgia, the semifinal games.
Georgia and whoever that was.
Am I drawing?
They beat them pretty
That's
bad.
sad that we
I
can't
know it was
even
Texas.
remember.
It was Michigan and TCU,
Michigan,
and then
TCU,
Georgia beating
Ohio State?
somebody.
No, was it Ohio State?
It was Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State.
Yeah. Actually, they almost lost that game, man. I think
Yeah,
that
they
was
did.
a close
No, they
game.
did.
Okay, yeah. Georgia, Ohio State.
CJ Stroud was pretty good.
Yeah. yes, he is.
Well, no, he's pretty good in that game.
Yes.
I'm saying.
Yes. And then, he's getting paid for that. So, I just find it interesting that those games would be going away. And now we're talking about the potential for two separate games. Now we're talking about what you can do again in a dome. You don't have to have the turnaround time. They don't have to, redrag the field or reseed the field here.
Resod it? No.
Resod, we're not having to do any of that. Now you can do a college playoff game and the Music City Bowl in back-to-back days if you need to, which is another reason it packs downtown. Can you imagine having 4 fan bases in town for a game that is 2 days apart?
Yeah.
Because that's what we're potentially talking about.
It could be cool.
You're talking about potentially Kentucky against Purdue in the classic Music City Bowl. And then the next night, you're talking about, Oklahoma against, Ohio State in a playoff game.
And if those fans are already here and they love college football, clearly, they may just go to the game before just to go because they're college football fans.
The Music City Bowl becomes an appetizer.
I was going to say it could benefit by people just like, we're here.
Jeez.
We're here for our game. We'll just go to this game too.
Jeez. And then you do concerts. And by the way, the Preds are playing during that time over at Bridgestone. I mean, there's a lot going on there that creates, again, another economic engine. I just find that to be interesting. I really thought that the bowl games would be folded into the playoffs, and that is apparently not going to be the case.
You seem to be taken back a little bit.
A little
when he told you.
It's one of those things where you thought you understood, but then you found out you don't really understand at all. So, you learn something live there on the air. Go, oh, you're not doing that? I thought you were doing that. You're not doing that? Oh, well, what are you doing? Oh, why? Just very, very interesting. Very interesting. And it'll be, it'll be wild to watch how I don't think our imagination is big enough right now to understand what the dome is going to do for us, because we continue to find out things like the NCAA swimming championships where they can build a portable pool and install it in a dome and people will show up and watch it like they do in Indianapolis, like they told us a few weeks ago. That was beyond our imagination here in this market until they said that. I'm pretty confident most people had no idea that was even possible.
Put me in that category.
And so,
none.
And so, Darren, is the Winter Classic now coming under the dome? Have they done that yet? Have they figured that out?
No.
They've never done that.
No.
I wonder. Do you know why they haven't done? I mean, I don't know. I know I'm kind of asking off the cuff here, but is it they just can't make it happen, or do you know why they haven't done it? Or I know it's indoors, but
got to be cold enough to keep the ice.
Understood, but
it's hard enough in arenas. I can't imagine how hard it could be in a 60,000 seat football stadium.
So they just haven't figured out the physics yet.
Yeah, they haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I would suspect as many outdoor games as they've done.
Yeah.
If they could do it, they would have done it by now.
Done it already.
I would think.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
I just think it really just comes down to ice, maintenance of the ice.
Okay.
I guess, without being an expert.
Okay. I mean, but that's something else to, kind of slide in. If they can figure that out, the whole Winter Classic, angle of this. So, There's so much, I think, that is yet to be really talked about and discovered when it comes to the Dome.
What about also Butch said that he wants to make Nashville the exclusive or permanent home of SEC Media Days. You know, he threw that out there too, that he would love to put on such a performance this year that they wouldn't want to go anywhere else after that.
Well, I mean, Nashville has the ability to make the people who come to SEC Media Days, the coaches, the staff members, and the media, pretty comfortable. There's a lot of things here that the people in those particular circles like to do.
Better than Hoover.
Better than Hoover, I would imagine.
Well, if you remember the last time we had Butch Spiriton on,
yeah,
I believe he hinted that.
Oh, yes, he did.
We talked about that with him, that SEC moving here.
Yeah, new corporate headquarters.
Forget SEC Media Days.
Yeah,
being permanent here. He talked about them moving here,
moving their office here.
Yeah,
he even talked about the fact that their lease is up down there in 2026.
Yeah, I was going to say, he gave us when their lease was up.
Yeah.
You think Butch can help us out with the baseball SEC tournament? Get it here in Nashville, too?
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to move it away from Hoover. They put a lot of money into Hoover.
They did.
And I don't think that – I don't know. I think they're happy with it in Hoover.
Okay.
Because remember, you have to have a certain setup.
Yeah.
You got to have multiple facilities.
They don't really have.
We don't have that kind of baseball setup yet.
Yeah.
No.
And they put a lot of money into Hoover to get it to where they wanted it. So I don't know. I think it's just one of those deals where right now, I think it's going to stay in Hoover.
Use the sound stadium. Be cool. But then you need more than that.
Yeah.
You need more than that.
I just don't think you can. It's just not that easy.
Yeah.
All right. We'll step away. Final time. Come back. Wrap up the McFarland Show here next.
There's a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience filled with family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 21st through the 24th for the induction of Fred McGriff and Scott Rowland as the class of 2023. Visit baseballhall.org today for the entire schedule. See you in Cooperstown, where the journey becomes legend.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Today on Hey Culligan's Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener, here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yup, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. That's 800-413-3953.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Tennessee needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
It's a Bill King Show.
In Little League football, they play it off. You can't do it in college football, Bill. You got to come up with a bunch of computers and some BCS cockamamie scheme. My answer was yes. It's unique. Absolutely love it. I go into my garage every day and make sure there are no dust particles on those BCS computers. I do that.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Mike texts into the show. And Mike says, Butch Spiriton once said, with the Music City Bowl so close, that a Winter Classic would need longer to prepare for the rink. That is a good point.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Fair
they
enough.
come in. I know I've had these conversations with Gary Bettman when the last time, it wasn't the Winter Classic, it was just an outdoor game in February.
Yeah.
But talked with Gary Bettman down in Dallas.
Yeah.
Around the Winter Classic. But that was in Dallas. But yes,
Mhm.
they typically, they are, because in Dallas, when the Winter Classic, they got rain.
Yeah.
Like a week before, and they had to scrap and they had to restart it over.
Yeah.
The ice. They had
Yeah.
to do it all over. So they come in weeks in advance for preparation.
Sure.
So that's a good point.
Makes sense.
Mike,
Makes sense.
very good point.
Makes sense.
Greg texts in and says, Justin,
yes,
they could do a Winter Classic in a dome, but part of the Winter Classic tradition is that it's outside. Looks like an old school pond hockey. It will never be in a dome.
That's true. And that is part of the charm, but I just felt like, maybe, these things evolve and move on to the next chapter. They've done a ton of these Winter Classics right now. And if you wanted to do something different, that would be something different. I do understand the point, though. And you're right. It did start off that way, so it would look like the whole pond feel. And that is correct. That is correct.
Well, they've even had a lot of snow, and I mean, they've
Sure.
And, it is cool.
It is cool.
But they've done it for now so much. We've seen basically all the elements, and then you have out in Reno, the sun came out. Whoops.
I mean,
that messed things up.
The only special place left they can put it at this point is Augusta National. But
I don't think they're going to
I don't think they're going to do that either.
No.
But once you've done Yankee Stadium and Wrigley Field and Fenway Park and Notre Dame, and listen, you've kind of run it.
Ann Arbor
at
100,000.
Listen, that's great.
Red Wings game.
And that's fantastic. So what you've got left now is Augusta National and the Field of Dreams field up there in Iowa. Those are the places you got left.
Have to be a lot of building, man.
Yeah.
To make that work.
So that's what I'm saying. Like them going to a dome, even though I understand the point, isn't all that preposterous.
What if they did it at the Hockey Hall of Fame?
What? I think, move it downstairs.
Move it downstairs.
The old hanging light bulbs.
Yeah,
like they used to have.
Looking for the Winter Classic? Yeah, it's downstairs.
Downstairs. Watch your head. Duck down to the last step.
Oh, man. All right, good stuff. Appreciate everybody today. Good show as always. We'll be back tomorrow, 2 o'clock tonight. Braves and Red Sox. That is a 6:05 start, so you can hear all that action right here on WNSR. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. See you then.